That's exactly what I'm
Are you,
saying,
you
because
go
I
ahead.
think
You,
it makes a mockery
okay.
of the women's game. If the focus on, okay,
Cool.
now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're
Okay.
not as talented, we're not putting the best team.
This came after Molly made fun of the women's sport live on television, claiming that Caitlyn devalued it and that the only reason it was being discussed was because of her interactions with supporters. The Washington Mystics moved tonight's game against Caitlin Clark to the nearby NBA arena and ended up setting a new all-time WNBA attendance record. It's impossible to overstate what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. Just take a look at that attendance. Meanwhile, the fans lost by 1 point to the Mystics last night, which was the most attended game in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark has become a household name, packing stadiums and enthralling audiences nationwide. But why are some sports analysts, such as ESPN's Molly Qerim, saying that her amazing skills are devaluing the sport even though the statistics show otherwise? Caitlin Clark keeps posting crazy stats at every game, raising questions about her influence on women's basketball. Has she really increased attendance, or has she also raised the bar for the caliber of play? What about the remarks made by Off? Caitlin Clark has become a trailblazing figure in women's basketball. Her on-court exploits have attracted a lot of attention, but not all of it has been kind as she has become well-known. ESPN analysts, especially Molly Qerim, have been vocal in their criticism of Clark. What could have been a historic moment for women's sports has instead devolved into a contentious discussion about Clark's impact on the sport and her role in determining its future. Although Clark's accomplishments and records speak for themselves, the media's response to her, especially from people like Qerim, has spurred discussions about sexism, jealousy, and the unfair treatment of female athletes. Molly, when one of ESPN's most well-known voices said that Caitlin Clark was making fun of the sport, Qerim's remarks were shocking and stinging, and they immediately attracted the attention of basketball fans and sports analysts alike. However, what did Qerim mean by this accusation? And is there any truth to it? We all know the answer. Of course there isn't.
The wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement. Targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really smart. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years.
Although Clark has undoubtedly attracted sizable audiences and raised interest in women's basketball, Cham contended that she hasn't improved the standard of play in the sport as a whole, according to Qerim. Clark plays basketball in a showy but unsubstantial manner that attracts to casual viewers but detracts from the actual skill of the game. In essence, the main thrust of Qerim's criticism appears to be that Clark's style of play is too dependent on three-pointers and highlights real plays, which some perceive as deviating from the fundamentals of basketball. Qerim also suggested that Clark is more of an entertainer than an athlete, someone who can draw crowds but fails to uphold the integrity of the sport. Qerim thinks that Clark's emphasis on high-scoring performances comes at the price of defensive and strategic team play, which she considers to be crucial to the sport. It's crucial to take a look at Caitlin Clark's real accomplishments are more than just a show. Throughout her time as a student at the University of Iowa, Clark has continuously produced stats that demonstrate her status as one of the most versatile and accomplished players in women's basketball history. Clark has set several records, becoming the youngest player in NCAA history to post consecutive triple-doubles in a single season. Despite her exceptional scoring prowess, Clark is also a fantastic passer who consistently leads her team in assists. Her basketball IQ is quite high. The argument that Clark's game is only about entertainment crumbles when you look at the statistics because she not only shoots three-pointers but also creates plays, breaks down defenses, and controls the tempo of the game in ways that are uncommon for players her age. This enables her to see plays develop before they happen and make passes that leave both defenders and fans in awe. Additionally, Clark is a relentless defender who frequently protects the best player on the other side and leads her squad in steals. Qerim appears to be ignoring the fact that Clark is pushing the limits of what is feasible in the sport, forcing opponents to reconsider their tactics and pushing her team, the Outrage, to new heights when she claims that Clark hasn't improved the caliber of play in women's basketball. However, Kim isn't the only one who ignores Caitlin. Monica McNutt has been doing the same thing, saying that she would award Rookie of the Year to Angel provided Chicago finished better than the Indiana Fever, which they didn't.
Watch this. I have said this all season, BC. My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings. Okay. Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the sky is right above them.
And the sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese.
Again, what I think is happening here is this black woman is trying to play mental gymnastics and find a way to put Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark. Rookie of the Year does not go to a team. That's why it's called Rookie of the Year. It goes to an individual player. So wouldn't it make sense that you would analyze their statistics and analyze individual play overall? Like, this woman is doing all types of mental gymnastics in order to come to this conclusion so she can try to place Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark in that race. When the Fever and the Future are ranked higher than the Sky, I'll be curious to see if she says the same thing. See if she then tries to maneuver to something.
One of the most impressive things about Caitlin Clark is her consistency. From the 2012 to 2022 season, for instance, she averaged 27 points per game, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds, numbers that would make any analyst reevaluate their criticism. These are MVP-caliber numbers in any league, let alone collegiate basketball, where competition is fierce. Clark has consistently scored 30 to 40, even 50 points in games, leading her team to victory time and time again. When Cum and others criticize Clark for being more of a show than a serious player, they seem to be ignoring the fact that Clark's performances are crucial to her team's success. Without Clark, Iowa wouldn't be where it is today, and her ability to score big statistics shows how important she is to the team rather than indicating that she is playing for herself. Clark's credentials are self-evident. She was selected to the unanimous first team. Perhaps most significantly, Clark has achieved all of this while maintaining an exceptionally high level of efficiency, shooting over 45% from the field and nearly 4% from three-point range. She is the first player in Big Ten history to record 1,000 points and 200 assists in a single season, and she has broken almost every scoring record for her age group. Another player has entered the discussion above the fray. Angel Reese, an LSU player, has frequently asserted that she is the one who popularized women's basketball and that the media has unjustly highlighted Clark while downplaying her own contributions to the game. In Reese's perspective, she has been positioned as the antagonist, while Clark has been positioned as the hero.
I don't understand, like, if they think it's personal, but when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive, I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive and that's what we do. But off the court, we're going to kick in and have fun. So I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing, and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something. But I love Caitlin, and I love her game, and I admire everything she's done.
However, is this story true? Or is Reed just attempting to maintain her prominence by portraying Clark as her opponent? While Reese is unquestionably a talented player in her own right, her accomplishments pale in comparison to Clark's. Many fans and analysts think that Reese's attempts to put herself in the villain role are little more than a publicity stunt. However, it's important to note that Caitlin Clark has never publicly feuded with Ree or any other players, despite Reese's claim that she is to blame for the sport's growth. Even though Clark has always conducted herself professionally in interviews, never criticizing other players or attempting to stir up drama, certain media outlets nevertheless paint her in a bad light, while Reyes, who has deliberately sought controversy, frequently gets away with it. Clark's admirers find this dynamic annoying as they believe she is being unfairly singled out due to her success. Although Ree may enjoy playing the antagonist, it's obvious that Caitlin Clark has no interest in engaging in such theatrics. Instead, she is focused on winning basketball games. It seems as though the media is determined to find flaws in her game or character even when none exist.
For watching women's basketball right now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
The way the media has covered Caitlin Clark in spite of her extraordinary performance on the court is among the most perplexing elements of the scandal. Analysts like Molly Qerim frequently cast Clark in a poor light, casting doubt on her skills and implying that she is more of a circus than a genuine player. But why is this the case? Part of the reason is why Caitlin Clark, a player who has only performed well at the top levels of the sport, is so frequently criticized. Perhaps it stems from the media's propensity to disparage people who achieve success too rapidly. Clark's rise has been explosive, and it appears that some media people find it unsettling that a young player is accomplishing so much so quickly. There is also the problem of jealousy, especially from ex-WNBA players who might believe that Clark's success overshadows their own years of hard work. When LeBron James joined the NBA as a teenager and started breaking records right away, he was heralded as the league's future. However, when Caitlin Clark does the same in women's basketball, perhaps the most concerning aspect of the media's treatment of Caitlin Clark is the double standard that exists for female athletes. In men's sports, players who dominate at a young age are celebrated, not criticized. The WNBA and women's basketball in general have struggled to gain mainstream attention, and now that Clark has attracted new fans, some former players seem to be upset that it took a rookie to do what they couldn't. She is charged with disparaging the sport.
Olympic break helped the Indiana Fever more than any other team. And I felt like the Olympic break really hurt Chicago. Because I thought before the break, Indiana was playing well, Chicago was playing well, and granted, there have been injuries and things like that. But since the Olympic break, this Indiana Fever team, to me, is a completely...
This double standard is not just unfair, it's harmful. It sends the message that no matter how good a female athlete is, she will always be judged more harshly than her male counterparts, and it discourages young girls from pursuing sports, knowing that even if they succeed, they will still face an uphill battle for respect. Another key element of the Caitlin Clark controversy is the jealousy that seems to be coming from ex-WNBA players. For years, the WNBA has struggled to gain the kind of mainstream attention that men's sports enjoy. Former players have fought hard to promote the game and increase viewership, but their efforts have largely gone unnoticed by the broader sports community. Now, Caitlin Clark has done what they could. She's brought new fans to the game, filled stadiums, and drawn record-breaking TV ratings. But instead of celebrating her success, many ex-WNBA players seem to resent it. They see Clark's rise as a threat to their own legacies, and they're unwilling to give her the credit she deserves. This jealousy is particularly evident in the way some ex-players have talked about Clark in the media.